Hi, second graders. Today I want to come to you with a live math lesson that we would have been doing in Unit 7. And then a little bit later this week, you can also watch Mrs. Demas teach a math lesson. So we're both going to be teaching 2 math lessons per week that you can watch and listen to and play over and over again if you need to. And these are kind of the key lessons for the week. So typically we teach of several lessons throughout the week and work on the most important skills. So these lessons are going to give you the very most important essential skills that we would have been working on in school. And in this case, we're going to be working with 4 add-ins. So I have some problems to kind of warm us up and start us off like we typically would when we come back from lunch. Come back from special in the morning. And these are going to be our focus. This is going to be our focus for today's lesson. And then, like I said, later this week, Mrs. Demas will be doing one recording, but it's 2 lessons within it, and it's all about measurement. So this unit 7, is really working with more than one add-in, and then also working with measurement. So adding up different parts of measurement, and so we're going to be doing some graphing later this week as well, okay? First of all, I want to point out this word add-ins. I want you to think about what that word means. So I'm going to give you a minute of think time here. Add-ins. I noticed the word add in it, right? Add-ins are the numbers, do you know? The numbers in an addition problem that you add up to get the answer. What's the answer for an addition problem called? You should know this. That's right, it's the sum, okay? The sum is the answer to an addition problem. The numbers that you add up are called the add-ins, okay? So that's a good math vocabulary word. So today we're going to work with more than just 2 add-ins. So typically we've been working this year on adding 2 numbers together, 24 and 8, right? But now we're going to start looking at how our strategies that we've been learning all year with 2 add-ins can be worked out into using more than 2 add-ins and even up to 4 add-ins to add, okay? So let's get our minds ready right now. The first problem I have here, and you might want a piece of paper, so you can pause this if you don't have paper and pencil or a marker, or you could use a whiteboard like mine if you have one. Go grab something that you can write with, okay? So pause, and then come back to me when you're ready with your pencil and paper or whatever tools you're using to write stuff down today, okay? So the first one I have is 7 plus 7 plus 3, okay? I want you to think about what numbers you would put together. What strategy are you going to use to add 7 plus 7 plus 3? The way I see it is I would have 2 choices. I could add, let me turn this a little here. There we go. I could use my doubles fact. So 7 and 7 is 14, and then count 3 more, 15, 16, 17. Okay. Or I'm noticing that 7 and 3 is a tens pair. 7 plus 3 is 10, plus 7 more is 17. Either way, we got the right answer. Okay. Take a peek at problem number 2. 6 plus 4 plus 5. What would be the strategies that you could use for this one? So we're looking for things like doubles, facts, okay? We're looking for tens pairs. And we're looking for things like doubles plus 1 or doubles plus 2. That's what's going to help us add efficiently, especially when we have 3 or 4 add-ins. Okay. So here I see a tens pair. Do you see it? 6 plus 4 is 10, plus 5 more is, you write it down. That's right, 15. I'm going to go ahead and give you a second to copy these other 2. I'm not going to do them with you. I want you to pause the video and do them. Then I'm going to, hopefully, you're going to have a parent check these. Okay, so the next problem is 5 plus 5 plus 6. So go ahead and write that down, 5 plus 5 plus 6. And then 6 plus 6 plus 2. Again, remember you can pause the video at any time to give yourself some think time, to pause on it, or to ask an adult for help. Maybe you need a number grid. That is okay too. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and look at our next section. And the next section here, I'm going to look at a story problem that has more than one add-in. So more than one number that they're asking us to add up together, okay? And actually, Mrs. Green forgot a piece of her supplies. I need my eraser to erase my board so I can rewrite these numbers for you. So I'm gonna leave you with this. Go ahead and take 1 second to make sure you have all of your right answers here while I go and grab my eraser. Okay, I'm back. Were you messing around? Were you talking? No, you're not talking like you would at your tables if I did that, were you? It's a lovely thing, isn't it? All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to do a story problem here. Okay, and so I'm going to read it to you first. So pay attention as I read. And then what I want to do is we're going to write down the most essential or the most important information. Okay, so here we go. It says Leah has 3 pencils. Okay, so I'm going to write down that number 3. Thomas has 6 pencils. I'm going to write down the number 6. Nate has 7 pencils. I'm going to write down the number 7. How many pencils do they have in all? I'm going to read it one more time to you, okay? And I'm going to show you what my board looks like. It says Leah has 3 pencils. Thomas has 6 pencils and Nate has 7 pencils. How many pencils do they have in all? What do you know about those words, in all? In all means what, second graders? That's right, it means to add. Okay, it means add. So when we think about this, these 3 numbers become our 3 add-ins. And so we're gonna take these 3 numbers, we're gonna add them up. So you could have written them, I wrote them up and down vertically, but you could write them this way, horizontally. Okay. Either way is fine. And we're gonna try to look for a strategy. Remember those strategies that I mentioned before. Either a tens pair, a doubles fact, doubles plus 1, or doubles plus 2, okay? So here, when I look, I see that same tens pair that we had earlier, 7 and 3. 3 plus 7 is 10 plus 6 more. That's right, gives us 16. Very good. Okay. Good job on your story problem. All right, we're gonna do another story problem, and this is really the meat of our lesson here. Okay, so this will be the last part here, and then I'm gonna give you a task to go ahead and do on your own. Okay, so this problem is a story problem, and so I'm gonna write down the key information again, and you can do the same as I read it. I'm gonna read it 2 times through though, okay? A theater, someplace where you watch a show, has 100 seats. So I'm going to write that big at the top, 100 seats. Okay. 4 schools are sending their children to a puppet show at the theater. The first school will send 21 children. The second school will send 13. The third school sends 42. And the fourth school sends 19. It wants to know, this story problem says, will there be enough seats for all of these schools? Okay, will there be enough seats for all of the schools? So that is the question I'm asking you. So I'm gonna read it and we're gonna write down these numbers again, okay? So school number 1, okay, they send, what did I say, 21 children, okay? So 21 kids, okay? So this is how I'm gonna lay it out. So let's go ahead and on your paper, whatever you're using, go ahead and write this out. So we have 100 seats, school number 1, 21 kids are going, okay? School number 2, 13 kids are going. You with me? School number 3, 42 kids. It's a big school. In school number 4, 19 kids. Okay, and now the question, as you write that, the question that I'm asking you to think about is, are there enough seats for all the kids? Okay, are there enough seats for all of the kids? Remember, we have 100 seats. These are going to be the numbers that we use to figure it out. So how will we find that out? Think for a minute. Go ahead and press pause. Think for a second. What are you going to do with these numbers to see if we have enough 100 seats is enough? What are you going to do with these numbers? Are we going to subtract them? Multiply them? Throw them? Are you yelling it into the phone? Right, we're going to add them. We're going to add these numbers up. Okay, so we know we have to add these up, but these are pretty big numbers, aren't they? Okay, so the reason I had you put them like this is because now they're already stacked neatly up and down. If you didn't stack them like this, take a minute to stack them. Okay, so you're going to do 21, 13, 42, 19. Make sure you stack them really nicely up and down like that, vertically. Okay, so take a second to do that. I'm going to get another color here to help us see it. And now we have to break it down. We're going to add up the ones column first and then the tens column. So I'm going to circle that, okay? So I'm going to circle in both sections here. There's my ones column and there's my tens column. Okay, can you see it? Okay, good. So I'm gonna look just like I did with my other practice ones, okay? I'm gonna look and see if I have any tens pairs, any doubles facts, any strategy that might help me add, but only for the ones digit column. Start there, okay? Now I know when I look, I have a 1, a 3, a 2, and a 9. I see a tens pair. Do you see it? You see it? Yeah, that's right. It's the 1 and the 9. The 1 and the 9 makes 10. 10 plus 3 more is 13. 13 plus 2 more is 15. We keep the ones with the ones. 5 in the number 15, the 5 is in the 1. And we put the 1, which is really a 10 because 15 is made up of 10 and 5. Okay, I'll write it down here too. We put that in the tens column. So do you see how it looks like the number 15? A 1 here and a 5 here. There's the ones digit, there's the tens digit. Now I have to add up all the numbers in the tens digit place. I start at the top. 1 plus 2 more, 3, plus another 1, 4. Oh, that gave me a double stacked. 4 plus 4, 8, plus 1 more, 9. Okay, so my answer is 95, but that doesn't answer the question. Remember what the question is. The question that we are asking is, are there enough seats for these 4 schools? There's 100 seats at the theater. Are there enough? Yes or no? Yes, there are. Yeah, because we got 95. In fact, there's some left over. Think for a second, how many seats are left over for maybe, say, a teacher to sit in or a parent to sit in? How many are left over? We have 100 total. Only 95 are going to be used. How many are left over? How do you figure that out? 2 ways. You can count up, start at 95 and count up to 100, or you can count back 100, take away 95. That would take a long time. So your better strategy is to count up. 95 plus how many gets you to 100? 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. There would be 5 seats left over. That's right. Okay. You just worked with an addition problem with 4 addends. Remember, an addend is the numbers that you add up in order to get your answer or your sum. So now it's your turn. I'm going to give you a problem. I'm going to read it. Okay, and I'm going to write the numbers on the board. And your job is to do this when the lesson ends. Okay, so you have one task when the lesson ends. Okay, so I am going to tell you about a little story. I'll tell you about it before I start writing, of where I would like to be right now. Okay, I don't really want to be at a theater. I would love, though, to be at a pool, because right now it's snowing outside when I look out the window, and I would really like to be at a pool instead. So if I were at a pool, I would hope that some of my friends were with me, okay? And at this pool, there's a slide, a huge, big water slide, similar to the one that's at the Woods Park if you've been there before. So I'm at a water slide, and there are a bunch of people in line, but they are only letting the first 50 people go down the slide today. So only 50 people are going to get to go down the slide today, because then they're closing it to clean the pool. So only 50 people, okay? So here's who's in line, okay? There are, you ready? Ready for my numbers? There are 12 adults, okay? 12 adults. You should be writing this. You didn't know you were supposed to? There's 12 adults. There's 15 girls. Okay. 15 girls. Ready? There's 18 boys. And it's my water slide, so I can have whoever I want be in line. And in my water slide, there are 10 dogs. I know that's silly, but I decided I want 10 dogs on the water slide. Maybe they want to play too. I'm wondering, second graders, if only 50 people and animals can slide down the slide today. I'm wondering if all of the adults, all of the boys, all of the girls, and all of the dogs are going to be able to get down the slide today. Think about what you'll do with these numbers, these add-ins, to get the sum, and then answer yes or no. Feel free to share that answer with Mrs. Demas or myself, or just write it and share it with a parent. That's your job for your math today. I hope you enjoyed getting a nice lesson, and I will talk to you guys soon. Happy learning. Be good for your parents, and we'll see you soon. Bye.